What's going on, guys? Stefan here with you, S&E's Garage. Today we're here in the shop with our 2007 Lexus ES350, and we're going to be replacing the passenger side drive axle today. Now, I just want to let you guys know, please mind the appearance in here. After one of the most brutal winters we've ever had here, to my recent knowledge, in New Jersey, we finally decided to pull the trigger and get heating and air conditioning in here. So there's parts all over the place. It's going to be getting installed soon, but don't mind if you see clutter everywhere. But anyhow, we're going to be replacing this passenger side drive axle today. That is the one on this side. Obviously, it's the long one with the bracket on the back. And let's show you what we're going to be replacing it with. So we are going to be using a Track Motive T0-8164. I'll leave one of these in the video description below. This should fit 07 to, 17 Lexus ES350s. It should also fit the V6 Camrys. Like I said, I'll leave it in the video description below. It should fit a lot of Toyota front-wheel drive V6 cars. I'll leave everything that you need in the video description below. And then we're also going to maybe have to replace the bracket here for the center support bearing on the axle. That's going to be a Dorman part number 926-193. You're definitely going to want to have one of these on hand, especially if you live in an area where there's either you're close to the water, salt water, or they salt the roads, because 9 times out of 10, the bearing on this axle does not come out of this bracket. It's usually seized in there, and it's easier to just pull the bracket and the bearing at the same time. I'll show you when we get under there. Now, you're also going to want to have a 12-point socket set, impact socket set for the axle nut. They use a 12-point on the axles on these. Don't know why, but they do. So let's go ahead. Let's get this up to about hip height. We're going to go ahead and pull the wheel. I'm not going to record that. You know how to take a wheel off if you're watching this video. 21 millimeters, rip it off with an impact. And then we're going to go ahead and disconnect the strut from the steering knuckle, and we're going to go ahead and pull that axle nut off. And when we get under there, I'm going to show you exactly what we're doing, but I take this axle out in 2 pieces. The axle's no good, so I'm going to cut the boot and pull the outer part off. That way there's less clutter under here, and we have more room to swing a hammer, because we are going to try to go ahead and separate the axle from that, that support bearing first. Because like I said, if you can reuse it and return what you bought, but I always order one of them just in case it's seized, and I've used it almost every single time. So now we're going to go ahead and use some rust penetrant on this. Just going to go ahead, spray it down. We are not reusing this axle, so you really don't need to worry about unstaking it. You just go ahead and rip the nut off. It's going to be a 30 millimeter, like I said, 12-point. It's going to come in that kit that I'm going to link in the video description below. Now you're going to either use an air hammer or a regular hammer here on the snout of the axle. We just want to get this to break free from the hub. Again, if you're not reusing your axle, just go ahead and crack this with a hammer until it breaks loose. Doesn't matter if you screw the threads up, but we have an air hammer, so. And you'll see, just like that, the axle slid all the way in. So now we know that it's free from the hub. Now we can go ahead and disconnect the knuckle from the strut. Just be mindful to disconnect this 12 millimeter nut up here. That's going to connect your brake line and your ABS wire to the strut. That way, when the knuckle comes falling forward, you don't break them. So on this car, it looks like somebody may have installed a camber kit on this, because the top bolt is different than what I'm used to seeing. It's going to be an 18 millimeter bolt with a 21 millimeter nut on it for the top one. Again, this probably has a camber kit on it, so I am just going to be mindful and try to make sure I line up the witness marks when I put it back together, so I don't affect the alignment. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the bottom ones. Like so. Because this has a camber kit on it, we're going to have to manipulate this upper here can see the little eccentric here. That's actually really annoying. Don't know why someone would put a camber kit on these, because they're usually not out. But anyhow, now we can go ahead, pull this knuckle forward like this and pop this axle out. Well, like I said, we like to remove this axle in two pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a razor blade. I'm gonna cut this boot, and I'm just gonna rip this half of the axle out, and then we'll worry about the second half when we get under the car. Now what you're gonna see here, because this axle was ran with a ripped boot, is just how dry this joint is and how much play is in them. These are not supposed to move around this easily or come out this far. So this axle is definitely worn out. So let's go ahead and get under the car and show you some tricks you can try to get that axle to separate from the bracket. And if it doesn't, like I said, we're going to take it apart with that bracket on there and replace that bracket. So right in the middle of the frame now is where you're going to be working on this guy here. I've gone ahead and sprayed this down a couple of times with some penetrating oil, so hopefully that helps. But we need to go ahead and remove this 14mm nut, and then this little snap ring here we have to get to break free and remove as well. And that'll free the bearing, in theory, that is in this housing from the housing, and you should be able to get it out. But like I said, they usually never budge, and you end up having to basically take it out with that on it and either press it out or replace it. That was nice. That came out. Now let's see if we get lucky with the snap ring. I'm trying my hardest here not to block what I'm doing, but just like that, you'll see this clip is loose now, and in theory, the axle should come out, but like I said, I've never had it actually happen. Now another trick you can try at breaking this guy loose is sticking a punch up into the hole that you pulled that bolt out of. And I can't do this with you guys in the way, but you're gonna give it a couple of good whacks to try to jar that bearing that's in there. And then you can go ahead and try to either air hammer it or hit it with a hammer again to get the axle out. I'm gonna try this for like 10-15 minutes. If it doesn't work, we're gonna go ahead and open that other one and pull the 3 bolts out that hold it in. All right guys, so we ended up making a relief cut here in this bearing carrier. And then we went ahead and we stuck our pry bar in the hole that we made, and we tapped it with a hammer to spread it apart. And you'll see here the axle is beginning to move. So we're just gonna go ahead and work it the rest of the way out. And the reason I had to do it this way is because on this particular car, the third nut or bolt rather that I need to get to is hidden behind the axle. So I do have to pull this axle out before I can get that bracket out, but we are gonna be replacing the bracket. I just went ahead and opened up our Dorman. This is what it's gonna come with. It's gonna come with a new clip. It's gonna come with a new nut or bolt rather for the bottom. And this will literally go right in and we can slide our axle in. Now we can go ahead and unbolt this bracket here. It's gonna be one there, and then a third up top. You can pull it right out. All right, beautiful people. You'll see we got our new carrier bearing holder here in. But I just went ahead and I greased the hole up really good. Now I did also, prior to installing it, go ahead and remove the C-clip because we're gonna have to place that over the new axle before we slide it in. So let's go ahead and get the new axle. Let's slide this in place where it belongs, and then we can work on getting the new axle in the car. And once you get your new axle, you're gonna wanna slide that C-clip right here between the cup of the axle and this bearing. So now we can go ahead and slide this axle into the car. And now we're just gonna go ahead and slide this new axle in. Just remember, you need to slide it through that carrier bearing. And it is extremely long. So be very careful when inserting it into the transmission that you don't mess up the axle seal. Now you'll know you have the axle all the way in when the bearing sits just about flush with the slot for the C-clip, and then you can go ahead, reinsert your C-clip and reinstall this 14mm nut with the rubber tip at the end of it. Now we can lower her down, and just basically we're going to do everything up here in the reverse order. We're going to get the axle back into the hub. We're going to go ahead and put the strut bolts back in and get everything nice and tidy. And here you have it. You'll see we went ahead and installed our new axle nut. You'll see that we staked it so that it cannot back out. We've went ahead and reconnected everything here we disconnected. And I lined up my witness marks as best as possible here so the alignment should not be affected. So now we can go ahead and throw the wheels on, drop it down. All right, guys, and that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully this helped you replace the passenger side axle in your Toyota or Lexus. They've been using this setup, geez, for as long as I can remember. It's going to make your life 10 times easier if you live in the Salt Belt. Just order that bracket, cut it, chisel it apart, and the axle will come right out just like we did. So thank you so much again. Please like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned. We'll see you next time.